Hello and welcome to this commentary video on our new Apollo Advanced service. My name is Peter Waters and I'm a Senior Learning Experience Manager. With Apollo Advanced, our students study twice a week in class as usual, but are supplemented with a 20-minute one-on-one class with a teacher or teaching assistant. Before we get into the video, I want to explain a little bit more about why we chose a 20-minute session for our Apollo Advanced program. Some parents may think this is too short a time to accomplish any meaningful learning, and I'd like to address that directly to begin. Firstly, this is a one-to-one session, so our students get as much attention and chance to interact directly with the teacher as they would in a much longer multi-student class. Also, when learning online, students' focus and concentration tends to be much shorter. With our previous expertise in teaching online, we found 20 minutes to be a real sweet spot in terms of keeping students motivated and on task. With Apollo Advanced, each lesson is targeted to the precise areas of help that each student needs. That means we don't need to waste time teaching what they already know, but instead use our knowledge of how they performed in class and a particular diagnostic methodology to home in on particular areas of the lesson they struggled with. That could be a grammar point, vocabulary, or even pronunciation. But don't take my word for it. Please stick around as we experience a real Apollo Advanced lesson together, so you can see that 20 minutes one-to-one online can be a really useful amount of time to do precision learning on the areas that our students need. So today we'll be watching Candy, a primary 4C student who is studying with teacher Kenzie. This lesson is focusing on teaching critical thinking vocabulary around the concept of cause and effect, which they studied in class early in the week. And the grammar point is to do with relative clauses to do with the word which. So let's jump in and start the lesson.
Good.
You're good? Okay, good. How was your week this week?
Great.
Okay. Did you read any Oxford Reading Club stories?
No.
No? Why not? Don't know either. That's okay. This week though, try and read some. I want to hear about them. I want to see if you like them. Okay?
Kenzie starts with a couple of greeting questions and then asks Candy about the Oxford Reading Club app that all of our primary and secondary students get access to. It has over 900 books at a variety of levels and has interactive games and follow-up activities. Now, if like Candy, the student hasn't used the app, we will contact the parent to encourage them to help their child to enjoy all the benefits of reading in English. Next, you'll see that Kenzie uses the icons here to remind Candy about the rules for the class. This also includes digital checks that she has the headphones and the mouse needed. All of our parents get a full induction as to how to use the Alex sessions when they sign up, and our customer service officers are always available to deal with any technology issues.
All right. Well, let's get started. Okay, let's go over the rules just one more time.
Listen. Speak English.
Good.
Sit nicely. Wear headphones.
Excellent job. And Candy, do you have a mouse today that you can use with your computer?
The first section that we're going to see is a review of the general topic of the lesson to set the context for the more detailed language work later. In this particular case, it's about the future 4C skills of collaboration, critical thinking, communication, and creativity.
Okay, so let's warm up. Can you give examples of when you do these things in school? Let's start with this one. What is this?
Idea.
What does this say?
Creative thinking.
Good. When do you use creative thinking at school?
In math.
Okay, all right. What is creative about math?
Apollo Advanced lessons follow a test, teach, test approach. Now, this methodology involves setting a small task at the beginning to assess what areas of weakness the particular student has. The teacher then uses this information to focus on the particular help the individual student needs in that teach phase. Now Kenzie won't support Candy on these tasks, so she can really see what she can do. I wonder how Candy will get on.
Well, we're going to communicate more. We're going to try to remember some of your vocabulary from this week, okay? All right. Can you move the words to match the definition for me, please?
Okay.
And can you help me complete the missing words on this slide? What are we talking about here?
A nurse is someone who works in a hospital and the doctor.
Okay.
Now Candy has tried hard on the first task and shows that she knows some of the vocabulary and grammar that she studied in class. However, there are a few areas that Kenzie has identified for her to focus on in the next teaching phase, where she will get more assisted practice.
This is a very challenging one. But first, let's talk about cause and effect. Okay, remember the dominoes? When one falls, the other one falls? Remember?
Yes.
Okay, can you describe another example of cause and effect?
When we help someone,
Mm-hmm.
when we help everybody, they help me again and they love me.
All right, very good. That's a perfect example. That's so nice. Excellent. All right, Candy, good. You've been speaking English and paying attention. So the effect is that you get a star. Well done.
So teachers can give up to 5 stars per lesson to help reinforce and reward positive behaviour and participation. It helps to keep students engaged and motivated to study online. Good job, Candy.
Okay. So we're going to read a little story here, okay? It's called Once Upon a Time. Okay. What was Peter Parrot's problem? Can you read this first paragraph here, please?
Peter Parrot loved learning. He was very proud of himself. He remembered and pretended everything he heard all day long.
Good. What did he say?
Easy and the best.
The truth comes out.
The truth was that Peter Parrot sounded very clever, but he really had no idea what he was talking about.
Peter Parrot's teacher.
There was only one solution. I will question everything with more and learn how to think.
Good. So how has Peter Parrot changed the way he thinks?
I know what I don't know. So many questions.
Good. And what do we call this way of thinking?
Critical thinking.
Excellent. Good. It's critical thinking. All right. You did some great reading and you were speaking English the whole time, so there's a star for you.
So as you've just seen, Kenzie uses a story about the parrot to help Candy to really understand what critical thinking is. We want students to understand and apply these concepts, not just be a parrot and to repeat them. Now, halfway through the lessons, we have a brain break. It's a chance to be active, to move around and exercise the body as well as the mind. This helps to refocus the students for the second half of the online class.
Okay, we're about halfway through, Candy, so it's time for our brain break. Okay. Can you stand up and spin around twice? Okay, I'll do it with you. Stand up, spin around. Okay, good. Now touch your toes.
Yep.
Okay, good. Then sit down.
Okay, so now Kenzie will help Candy to improve her relative clauses with which by doing a gap fill about fake news. Now this is also a topic that fits in really well with the critical thinking they studied earlier and about not trusting everything that you read online.
Okay, so we have a paragraph here about fake news. Can you help me fill in the blanks with the correct words?
Okay. Fake news is something fake news is something which everyone is talking about these days. Questions to ask.
Amazing job. Really well done. Good. You were working really hard on that, so you're going to get another star. Okay, well done.
Whew, that was tough. Candy definitely deserved her star. Okay, we tried to build lots of fun games and activities into each Apollo Advanced lesson. And in this last section of the teaching phase, Candy and Kenzie will play a definitions game. Now this is a great way to naturally use relative pronouns like which. Let's watch now.
We're going to use which to talk about things and what they do, okay? So you're going to think of a definition for one of these words, but you're just going to say the definition. You're not going to tell me what it is. So for example, this is a thing which you use to cut paper. What am I talking about?
Caesar.
Good, okay, perfect. Now can you make a different definition about one of these pictures using which?
This is thinking which helps you to have some idea.
Okay. Are you talking about critical thinking?
Yes.
Looks like Candy's brother was getting a bit jealous in the background there. Okay, in our last section of our advanced class, it's called One More Time, and it's the final test of our test, teach, test approach. It's a chance to revisit the first task or something similar and hopefully check that there has been some progress.
Okay, we have a few more minutes for a few last activities, okay? We're going to fill out the crossword puzzle, okay? So I'm going to help you. It's a little bit tricky with making the letters fit, so I'll help you. But number one, what do you think number one is?
Across or down?
One across.
Asking the right question to understand. Critical thinking.
Good. How do you spell critical thinking?
E-R-I-T-I-C.
Okay, and then just one sentence here. Okay, can you use which to talk about a candle?
Okay. A candle is something which people use to have lights on the birthday cake.
Okay, very good. Excellent. That's a perfect sentence. All right, so we are all out of time for today, but you did an excellent job remembering your vocabulary and using which to describe things, okay? So I'm going to give you all 5 stars. Can I get a high five? All right, very good, okay? Make sure you have time this week to read your Oxford Reading Club books. I want to know about them next time, okay?
Bye.
Bye. See you, Candy. Good job today.
Okay, that crossword was tough. but Candy made excellent progress in the lesson on her use of which and seemed more confident with the vocabulary as well. At the end of the lesson, as we saw, Kenzie gives out more stars. Now these are all recorded on the My Alex app, which gives an update to our parents along with a direct teacher comment immediately after every class. We also always remind the students to use our reading app at the end so the teacher can hear more about that next week. I hope you enjoyed this real Apollo Advanced class today, and I think Kenzie and Candy did a great job. All of our students from kindergarten all the way up to secondary can benefit from this level of individual attention and help them to accelerate their learning progress. Adapting to learning digitally has been something that we've all had to deal with in 2020. But at Apollo, we truly believe that digital literacy is a crucial life skill. Ask your Apollo Centre about an advanced course today.